Good afternoon, everyone. Just going to wait for some people to join us, and we'll start in about 2 minutes. We're going to give folks just one more minute to join, and then we'll get started. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Taylor Evans. I am the founder and president of Rust Belt Recruiting. We are an industrial manufacturing recruiting agency based in the heart of the Rust Belt, Cleveland, Ohio. And we support companies throughout the region in their talent acquisition efforts on a professional side as well as production side of their business. I started this business in November of 2017. Last week, we celebrated our 7-year birthday. So super excited and proud of that accomplishment. And from day one of starting and building this business, I have been passionate about building a brand that was resilient, just like our region, carried a message of strength and grit, just like this guy in our logo behind me, and just believe in the importance of the work that we do. I believe a brand is really important for a number of reasons. We're going to get into that today. Obviously, it's important to have a strong business, but it's also important to have a strong brand, and they can coexist. And when done right on both sides, you can build something really special and make a tremendous impact, which is at the heartbeat of who and what we are as a brand and a business. My background comes through the sports industry. I went to Ohio University, go Bobcats, and was a member of the esteemed sport management program there, and was very proud to be around some industry leaders who were really at the forefront of sales and marketing in the sports industry. And I see how those skills and characteristics have carried over to this day into the business that we have now. So I went through a journey in the sports industry, ultimately ended up with a manufacturing company for a short time, and then ended up with a recruiting company for a short time. Simply put, we found out my wife was pregnant on a Thursday night, and because of her internal strength and resolve, I put in my 2 weeks notice on Friday, and we set out on a journey to build a business that 7 years later is alive and well and continuing to make an impact on people throughout the region. So I want to tell you a little bit today about our brand, what we do, why we do it, and gladly will take any questions throughout the conversation. So it's obviously one-sided with me providing this webinar, but we do have this chat feature, and as they come through, I will gladly answer. So what does a belief-based brand mean? So businesses all over exist to fill a need. Some have to happen just for the world to turn. Others are developed out of creativity and to move the world forward. A belief-based brand are the brands that stand out the most because they are able to withstand the test of time. They are the ones that are built on an unwavering belief in the value that they bring to society, in the importance of the work that they do. So what am I trying to say there? When you have a business and the business does a thing, a pen manufacturer, at the end of the day, it's a piece of plastic with some ink, and it's able to, be used. But when the pen is a means of communication between a mother and a son living on other sides of the world. Now, I know we have email nowadays, but go along with me on this. This is on the fly. But when, a mother and a son are writing each other notes saying, I'm doing great, I'm living my dream over here in Europe, whatever it is far more than a pen. So BIC might be able to believe in what they do far more deeply than just some ink and plastic for writing notes or what have you. So for us, our belief-based brand was to build a brand that carried a message of the strength and resolve of the region, of the Rust Belt, of the work that the manufacturers do here to impact our country and the world. Manufacturing is an essential industry. It is necessary for our country to be strong and solid, and it exists and it needs to continue to exist in a strong way. And that's what we believe at Rust Belt Recruiting. Yes, we are recruiters. Our job is to find people jobs, and we get paid for that. But deep down, our team believes in the importance of the work that our clients do and the job and workplaces that they offer to people so that they can lead rich and fulfilling lives. It resonates with me, and it is a deep belief of mine of the importance of this. So to be able to build a business and a brand around this is at the core of what we're talking about here with a belief-based brand. So I just touched upon this a little bit. Again, we have a vision of renewing our region, which is connecting hardworking people with meaningful workplaces. But this vision, again, gives our team a greater purpose to rally around, and it's important to us. It's also important that at the core of your business, you have core values that you live out. For us, our number one far and away is integrity, right? Do the right thing always, no matter who and what is looking or if no one is looking. I know that is a drum that gets beat by a lot of companies, but again, actions are louder than words. How we live it out is more important than just putting it on paper. We also believe in being impact-oriented, which is the difference that our work makes in the lives of people, be it the person who is getting a job or the company that is finding a new hire. Both are huge. We believe in quality standard. We believe that all work must be done well and to the best of your ability every single day. We believe in personality. We want like a big Italian family, a lot of banter, a lot of conversation, some chit chat, and having a lot of fun with the people that you connect with, because we know that the recruiting industry is very up and down, and it can lead to burnout. So we need to have a little fun at work and make ourselves laugh and not pull our hair out trying to be all formal and uptight all the time. And the last one is solution oriented. We've got to have solutions. Unexpected events and things will happen day to day, week to week, but we need to make sure that we are prepared for the next move. So that mental dexterity is huge when looking at our team and the work we do. We also, with our core values, aim to work with companies and clients that we feel alignment with. I was just with a company this morning and hear them talk about who they are and what they're looking for. They are a core Midwest manufacturer. They are looking for people who are humble, but hungry. They are going to come into the workplace. They're going to check their ego at the door. They're going to make a difference and do the work in a good and meaningful way for a purpose bigger than themselves. And that is a company that, as soon as the HR manager said that, I knew we were aligned with them, and I only doubled down our excitement to be a partner to them. So how can your brand get there? Let's start talking about you guys rather than Rust Belt. Your brand exists. You've built a company. You have a workplace. What can you do to move in that direction? The first thing is championing something bigger. So at the end of the day, you aren't going to hear Rust Belt spending our time just talking about job postings and job openings. Like, we use our tools, our assets, our digital channels to champion something bigger. We love to talk about the importance of the manufacturing industry. We love to talk about our region. We love to talk about our communities. We love to talk about our team. We just talk about a bigger picture than ourselves. We know the importance of manufacturing. We know we are not the end-all, be-all in manufacturing talent acquisition, but we also know that we play a part in it, and we want to be part of that conversation rather than just our own conversation. We want to tell the story of manufacturing and this region on a day-to-day basis. Your company, your brand can absolutely do the same thing. Another impromptu example, Apple, right? Apple produces these iPhones, but the iPhone is just the tool. It's what the iPhone can do that changes the world. It's the ability to FaceTime with someone in Ireland. It's the ability to call a friend in Texas. It's the ability to text a family member on short notice and say, can you run to the store for this, this, or this? At the end of the day, they have connected the world in a big and meaningful way. And we won't unpack, the good and bad of cell phones, but at its core, it has changed the way we live. They have connected society in an incomparable way than ever before. So again, you need to champion something bigger than yourself on a day-to-day basis. The next one would be to find ways that people can connect with your brand, even if they don't need your services. Even if you aren't a manufacturing company or employer or someone working in manufacturing, creating awareness and educational content around the importance of manufacturing gives people the reason to engage with this brand. It's the same as yours. It's finding a way to connect and show people and give people reason to engage with you, even if they aren't a user of your product. So, if your company is looking to connect with a broader audience and have people be able to be a champion of your brand, you have to find creative ways to connect with them. One of my favorite ones that we did a couple of years ago is when I used to email a client a riddle the day before our weekly meeting, just to have that person show up on Friday and guess. It was an engagement technique that we then parlayed into social media. And I found out people were loving our riddles for a few years, right? We were putting up posts and people that had nothing to do with manufacturing, never had a way or reason that they would use our products or our service, were just enjoying engaging with us because of the creative content we were putting up. So find ways that people can connect with your brand. Again, whether it's spotlighting your team, showing your workplace, showing the different things that your work fits into a bigger ecosystem. Again, continue to carry that message on out into the world and through whatever medium, whether it's digital, whether it's being at a community event of yours, whether it's sponsoring the local T-ball team, whatever it is, find ways that people feel that your brand is connected with something bigger. It's a tale, or it's a speech as old as time at this point. Simon Sinek's Start With Why. Deep down, you got to know your why. Mine is to create a stronger region here so that my kids, my 4 kids, the majority of them want to stay around here. Do I expect and believe they'll be in manufacturing? While I hope so, I can't expect all four to. But I believe that manufacturing is critical to our region's stability and the strength of the area. And by having manufacturing here in the region, we will be able to have stronger communities, better infrastructure, and reason to stay, because that sprawls out from there and creates job opportunities throughout the supply chain. So with your business, think about the why you're doing it. If you own a promotional products company, you might be inclined to yes, you make a product. You might sell pens, apparel, the signage behind me, what have you. But the why is so that a company like mine can have this great logo on the wall. We might have a logo on our chest, or we're able to provide a client with a gift as a thank you for working with us. It's creating a pride and a sense of esteem in the logo on your chest and the other materials that you have. So there has to be a deeper why to your work. Why do you do it? And if it's just about a transaction, that will be felt and it will not resonate with people, right? The brand loyalty will die off. And we're going to talk a little bit later in this conversation about the concept of brand equity. But brand loyalty is very comparable, and your brand loyalty will suffer if there isn't a why that comes through in the marketing and messaging of your brand. Consider your brand an extension of you. I have always tried to make Rust Belt bigger than myself, but I am the guy who started it. I am not the muscle man behind me here. I wish I was, but I consider Rust Belt to be an extension of me. And so I carry myself with a pride, knowing that I am attached to a great brand that is built not just on me, but many great team members around me. I am constantly carrying the message of our brand. And so, there's a lot of ways that brand can be an extension of you. If you're a solopreneur, often the brand is an extension of your value system or your personal priorities. I'm very proud that when our leadership team developed our core values a few years ago, I very much felt like they were my personal core values. I am able to live my life freely between my personal life and my work life because the core values align. They spread across. It's not like I have one life over here where I have these and another over here where they are different. It is one and the same. And so, especially when you're a solopreneur or a business owner, these core values that live within your brand are often an extension of you and not just the business itself. An example I often use is someone working in sustainability probably cares about the future of our planet, and that comes through in their work, right? It's someone who works in sustainability is gonna practice those principles in their personal life just as much as they are in their day-to-day work. I missed one point. Your time spent out of your work can also be a reflection of you. So if you choose to give your time in the civic arena, which is where my passion and time is spent, through organizations like COSI and GCP and NSBA and Manufacturing Works and Magnet and MVMC and Team Neo and so many of these great partners in the region that I love being part of their work, those things line up with what I believe in as well. And again, those can tie back to the mission of the business. So it doesn't have to be, exactly what I described there. It could be a group, it could be an organization, it could be something that you firmly believe in. But integrating your brand with your life is a great opportunity to grow deeper in your love for your day-to-day work, and really make your work not feel like work. So I'm just going to pause for about a minute and give people the opportunity. Just take some time to come up with maybe 3 universally appealing things that your brand has to offer. So think about it for a second. write them down. Obviously, not going to see them ever. Would invite you to put them in the chat if you feel so bold. But write those down and think for just a minute of what are 3 things that your brand has to offer to others. I'm going to give you guys about 30 more seconds. Really think about this, though. This could be valuable to use along the way. All right, 10 more seconds. All right, so we're going to keep moving in this conversation. So how do you maintain a belief-based brand, right? What do you do to keep this going and growing? First step I'd recommend is focus on creating a brand ecosystem. Oh, Heidi, thank you for shouting those out. So glad you're here, by the way. And thinking of 10,000 small businesses and you as an individual, love what you guys do, love the impact you make. Gonna just take a second to stump for Heidi and her team. 10,000 Small Businesses is a great resource for digging into how to grow your business and make a difference. And whether it's education, networking, or business support services, they're fantastic. Again, an organization that I would definitely consider a belief-based brand and backed by the team at Babson. And I would absolutely recommend you guys. So thanks for dropping that in there, Heidi. And I might use you guys as my example as we continue to go through. So, the first one is that we're going to move on to is focus on creating a brand ecosystem. So, be it brand ambassadors, that's referrals and relationships. This comes back to your networking and your connections in the community around you. I spend a lot of time trying to connect with people and find ways to help them in their business. It really is at the heartbeat of what I do. I love to put people together and watch them flourish or not ever know about it and just create connections and relationships that are helpful. But make it a two-way street, right? Give freely. Go into a networking conversation and find ways to help others before looking for them to help you. That network will absolutely come back and pay its dividends for you. People will make referrals to you. People will create connections for you. People will be there to help. And so brand ambassadors are a great one. Another one is to always be visible, right? And so when we think about being visible, it's beating the drum, always being out there, whether it's small investments of your time into your community, and that can be done in a lot of different ways. The one thing we all have equally is time. The one thing we each have uniquely is talents, and the one that we can all do in some way or another is treasures. And so however you invest those in your community is huge. And again, switching over to the always be visible, be active and engaged on social media, be out there just like we are right now, telling the story of what we believe and what is core to our brand. I believe that yours can do it too, and you can connect with people on this powerful platform called LinkedIn. It's a great way. Be out there from a thought leadership standpoint. One of the biggest compliments I always get is, we always see you on LinkedIn. I'm always trying to be in the conversation. I'm naturally wired that way and I enjoy it. So being visible is integral to keeping yourself, in people's minds and in the conversation. Business moves at a fast speed, and it will leave you behind if you let it. But being out there and connected is extremely important. Whenever possible, put yourself out there and maybe engage in a speaking engagement. The presentation that I'm doing for you guys today, I did about a month ago at the Cozy Big Summit, which was a fantastic event. Cozy is another great way to get engaged and meet people, and something that I'd be glad to get you connected with if interested. And another way to be visible is to be out there, sponsoring or hosting events. And sponsoring doesn't have to mean a lot of money. Sponsoring could be in trade, in kind, but align your brand with relevant events. Get creative if cost is prohibitive. Look for ways to be a partner to others, to collaborate with another great brand. I really enjoyed an event we did a little over a year ago with some great organizations like First Federal of Lakewood and ThunderTech and Cozy and Culture Shock and Hiring Optics. We all came together and did this awesome event called Talking Talent. Everyone was a key player in making it a great event for nearly 70 people. We all brought a few guests. We all provided some input, and we all, had a great evening together. So finding creative ways to get people together is awesome. Connect with an organization that might feel aligned with your heartbeat. For us, that's One Step Ahead Ohio and Joe Manofsky and the team there that is doing impactful work for both the skilled trades and acts of kindness through the region. So because of the work we do, their skilled trades initiative and the fund that they're building for that is something that we want to support. So whenever they're putting something on, we're going to try to be there, and we're going to try to be a partner to them in supporting it. But at the end of the day, find ways to bring people together and connect and have a meaningful community around you and your brand. It is an important, impactful way to grow it and really make it more than just a business. And again, building a brand. So another reflection point, going to do for about a minute. Take a moment to think of 3 ways you can make your brand visible beyond what you're currently doing. Looking back on what we just said there and maybe coming up with some new ideas, take a shot at some ideas. And again, the chat is open if you want to share them. But how can you get your brand out there in the community? Again, we'll take a 1-minute pause for you to think of some of these things. All right, we're going to take about 15 seconds and jump right back into it again. And we're getting near the end, so thank you all for being here and your participation, and hopefully you're seeing some value in this. All right, so we're going to jump back in again. Welcome again, any input on anyone that might have had some breakthroughs there, or some thoughts or some ideas. So this is one that resonated with one of my good friends, Jason Therian of ThunderTech recently. He's a digital marketing leader, and it's important to use the concept of brand equity as a benchmark. Brand equity is the value of a brand determined by the public perception of its quality. Again, everything we do to do it well. Whether, like we said, promotional products earlier, to have Nike on our sleeve when we're getting apparel is important, just because I want to reflect that we're wearing quality products and using quality goods in our day-to-day work. When we put something out on our social channels, when we print something, when we make something, when we present a candidate to our clients, when we talk, when we walk, when we are in front of our clients and our candidates, we are striving to operate with the utmost professionalism on a day-to-day basis. So everything we do, or one of my favorite quotes, The Lion King, everything the light touches, right? We all know that one. We want to be quality. We want to be good. So we need to do anything that is attached and associated with our brand needs to be done in a quality manner. And I would encourage you to look at the little details in yours that can be done the same. So invest in quality. It takes intentionality. It takes thought, but it is worth it. And then, just make sure that the thought leadership and the brand and the content and the materials that you are putting out positions you as a thought leader. You can be a small to mid-sized business and still have a seat at the big table if you know what you're talking about and you know how to have those conversations and know how to be a leader in your community. It's a key factor in your success as well, because it influences consumer decisions and potential partnerships that can further elevate your brand. So being high quality, operating as best in class, or carrying yourself as such is going to open up doors and opportunities for your business to expand and grow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it today. I really appreciate the conversation and the dialogue. I'm going to hang on here for a minute or two in case there's any questions or thoughts or feedback. I welcome it all, but I've really enjoyed sharing with you just a little bit about this. Again, building a belief-based brand, and hope that some of what I've shared resonates with you and you're able to take it back to your business and implement it. But I'm available if you ever want to reach out, connect, talk. Taylor at rustbeltrecruiting.com. You can find our website right there. Of course, you can find me right here on LinkedIn if we're not already connected. But I'm really grateful for my team helping me to put this together. Thank you, Annie, specifically for your work in preparing this presentation. It's been a fun one to give the last 2 times I've done it at the Cozy Big Summit and here today, and appreciate what you did to make it possible. Going to hold just for another 30 seconds, and if we don't receive any questions between now and then, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. All right. Well, I'm going to begin wrapping up. Again, thank you for your time today. I look forward to connecting with each of you along the way, and appreciate the time you spent with us today. Have a good one.